And thanks for choosing us. This is Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Awudu Moro. This afternoon, Good Afternoon Ghana is probing into the circumstances under which 7 BVD machines just gone missing. This has gone missing like that. Yesterday, the minority in Parliament raised the alarm and asked the Electoral Commission to come clean on how these 7 BVD machines got missing. I'm talking about biometric verification machine. They are also asking the police to get into it and investigate it and actually get to the bottom of this matter. Now, this demand has actually compelled the Electoral Commission to actually hold a news conference. This afternoon, the Electoral Commission is holding a news conference, and it is explaining what its side of the matter. We'll be going straight to the Electoral Commission, first of all, to listen to what the Electoral Commission has been saying. Then when I come back, I will be introducing my guest. Let's do this.
So, registration no area. You say free BB end of life. End of life no. Data bia a work laptop no. You copy data no onto our system. Until data no is erased on the laptop. Until you need also. Secondly, no, you can't say a nyansu swim biara about on so in the sense say your registration bia political parties no omo agents are omo centers honoma say you start the intro no pe you wo near your friend start of day any end of day reports until before you be share the intro na sekra no e wo center hono you wo niam bia political parties ni nyina e wo so muhu say you throw din we at the end of the day no so nipa a throw mu din no so no political parties na agents na yede ben omo eche nti omo a complete data of nipa e be throw mu din e wo all the registration centers nti laptop na ayira na yegusu ehwehwe no there is no information on it enya isusa so bia so about na dey about to 7 December 2024.
Okay, someone share you are for laptop 5 and I did say na edokuma no eba no den ya babonte anaiga
ne tini say esi ye no yen ye di kan report ma security agencies ma tse obi bisa no nwa peke nkrofo bi a omo etutu wonu asem nti enu sie ansana ye ne leadership of parliament ko hia no na omo bisa commission no na echechiro mu say laptops na ayira na ne beka ne say ebinum wo ho na omo ka nsem bi omo de nsem bi tudwa the best thing is say mo amoye journalist say o cross check na who's information na wo de tudwa no yampa na ase enye ampa nti o hwa utimi say the difference between BVR kits no ne BVDs no kra no eno no amaye so say na adneti nti say utimi eba ebehu commission kit naira na say BVDs naira say mwedi ka say BVDs naira miwa BVD bia ye be enra ye ne mom no laptops ahe 5 na aira nti sanko twen ye mpo a anka obenya information ni say laptops 5 na aira ne mom enye BVDs.
Finally BVDs
All right, as you can see, or as you can tell for yourself, the Electoral Commission has been holding a news conference that has been explaining or responding or reacting to the allegations that will be made by the minority concerning some 7 BVDs that allegedly have been missing at the Electoral Commission's office. The Electoral Commission has been holding a news conference, and from what I gather from what the Electoral Commission is saying is that no BVDs are missing, and that 5 laptops, as far as they're concerned, is what can't be found. They've gone missing. and they've been trying to explain that. We'll try to get to details on how those 5 laptops got missing, etc. But let's watch this. Yesterday, so question is, how did all of this begin? How did all of this begin? Sorry. Yesterday, the minority held a news conference. The minority leader, Dr. Kasalato Forse, was the one who sounded the alarm for the first time. Let's watch what he had to say.
7 of them are missing. So I was a bit curious about the matter. And strangely, I decided not to bring it out because we are to have a meeting with the Electoral Commission. I could not attend that meeting, but obviously my deputy working with the chief whips were at the meeting. And Electoral Commission confirms that 7 of the biometric devices are indeed missing. I urge the CID and the Ghana Police Service to immediately issue a statement giving us the details of their investigation so far. I am concerned and worried because that devices in the hands of an unknown person can compromise the future elections that Ghana will have. Who knows whether this is in the hands of a political party, and who knows what that political party is doing with it. I am disturbed, and it brings to bear a number of concerns. The safety and the storage of these important devices. Because if care is not taken and these devices happens to be in the hands of a wrong person, the 2024 elections will be at risk. And so I'm asking, and I want to ask again, where are these devices? And to the Ghana Police Service and the CID, we urge them to expedite action in ascertaining where exactly these devices have been. But strangely, a matter of this magnitude, we shouldn't be the first people to ask the Electoral Commission. It should have been the Electoral Commission herself to make this matter public and not the minority. So we are worried about it, particularly because the elections is staring at us. The 2024 elections, about 8 months away. And this is missing at a very crucial time. At a time that we are aware that the limited registration is about to start. Who has these 7 biometric devices that have been reported as missing?
All right, so this was actually the trigger. This was actually what happened. When the minority leader yesterday, the minority yesterday in Parliament decided to meet the press and actually sounded his alarm and broke the news and said information that he had was that 7 BVD machines have actually gone missing. But this is where it gets interesting because the same minority leader says he actually sent the minority whips for a meeting at the Electoral Commission. And in that meeting, it was actually confirmed that these BVD machines were missing. So how then do we have a situation where the Electoral Commission is now holding a news conference and saying that no BVD machines have been missing and they are actually 5 laptops? So something doesn't add up. 2 things. It is either the whips did not tell the truth or the Electoral Commission is lying. Somebody's not telling us the truth. And so we've got to get to the bottom of this. Now, we'll get to the bottom of this. Edem Agbana is here. He's the former national youth organizer of the NDC. He's well armed with as much information as he can as far as this is concerned. And also we're talking to Haruna Mohammed, who is the deputy, Haruna Mohammed actually, who is the deputy general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. And hopefully we'll be raising a reporter who was at the Electoral Commission head office to tell us about, what exactly the Electoral Commission has been saying. We just brought you snippets of it, about 5-10 minutes or so, where they were translating everything they had said earlier in Tree, so for the benefit of persons who do not understand the English language. So start with Adegbana and to tell him and to ask him exactly what the NDC's concerns are and their reaction to what the Electoral Commission is now telling us. Adam, it's good to have you. Good afternoon. And thank you so very much for making time to join us.
Well, thank you so much, Moro. And it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a long, long while.
Yes.
I've been actually working together with Adegban on the show. He's just a busy guy. He's very busy. Anyway, it's good that you made time. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me say good afternoon to all our cherished viewers across the world, and a special one to the good people of Ketu North,
Right.
and to thank them so much for their support.
Right.
You mentioned that I have been busy. Yes, I've been busy working in the constituency,
Right.
because we have a target to achieve at least 85% of the votes. And so far, so good. I can report that we are on course, and I am very confident that we will exceed our projected target for the 2024 elections. Moro, we are a couple of months away from the elections. All of us are stakeholders. Obviously, as a parliamentary candidate, I can consider myself a key stakeholder.
Absolutely.
Because my face will be on the ballot, my time, my resources, everything will be put into canvassing for votes. At the heart of all the issues around the elections is the fact that all of us want to see, one, a Ghana that is peaceful, a Ghana that works for everybody.
Right.
Number two, it is our burning desire to see the Electoral Commission and all the other stakeholders involved in the elections conduct themselves in a way that they must be fair to all the parties involved. The elections ahead of us is very crucial. The world is watching Ghana. Over time, our Electoral Commission and the conduct of our elections in this country has become an example for many other countries, especially within the sub-region.
Absolutely.
And so we have no excuse at all to do anything that would dent the image of Ghana towards the 2024 elections. And I think that it's important for the Electoral Commission to come to the realization that they are the major stakeholders in ensuring that we have free, fair, and transparent elections. So far, many of us do not have any confidence in the Electoral Commission. I am a candidate, and I'm telling you that I have zero confidence in the Electoral Commission of Ghana.
Why do you? What's the basis for this?
By
lack of
their
confidence?
conducts
Okay.
and their utterances. I have every reason to believe that some people at the Electoral Commission, especially some people in management position at the EC's office,
Okay.
are interested in extending President Akufo-Addo and the NPP's mandate by giving them another term. Because so far, everything they do, everything that they talk about, goes in or seems to be favoring one of the parties. And I said, look, going into any election, it is a verdict on the performance of the government. Let the people of Ghana decide who they want to choose as their leader in 2024. So the EC must be transparent. They must provide mechanisms that makes all of us have confidence in the commission. But currently, there seems to be zero confidence in the Electoral Commission. And I'll cite a couple of examples. During the limited registration, we raised several issues.
Okay.
Wait, one, the decision of the EC to even conduct the registration only in the district offices.
Right.
Look, some of us are from constituencies where we have many difficult to reach or hard to reach areas.
Right.
For example, for anyone familiar with my constituency, Ketu North, to move from Adevukope, to move from Afipe or Fonyaga and go and register in Joje, it's a very tedious, very laborious work.
Exercise, right.
And very expensive exercise as well.
Okay.
Because these communities are not connected by a major road where maybe you can make the argument that just walk to the roadside and you may get one commercial vehicle passing by and all of that. It's very difficult. Even within the Georgia enclave, to move from Deme, Tove, and all these places to Georgia itself, to have your registration is not easy.
Right.
Not to talk of Zukbe and other places.
Right.
We made the argument that, look, if you want to conduct a 21-day registration, get kits to be sent to some of these areas so that you afford the people of Ghana the opportunity to register, because it is their right to cast their vote. It is their right to vote and decide for themselves who they want them to lead. But unfortunately for us, the Electoral Commission is making it very difficult for the people of Ghana to access that right. And I think that the EC must have a rethink with the way they approach some of these issues.
All right.
We're talking about missing devices. Look, these kits, registration kits that we are talking about, they got missing right after the registration. But when our sources gave us the information on our own as a political party, we also decided to do some investigations and all of that. And a couple of days ago, according to our minority leader, the Electoral Commission confirmed that indeed 7 devices got missing. Okay. Now, for the purpose of people like people who may not appreciate what this device is used for, the BVDs are the machines or the devices that the EC uses to provide verification or to authenticate you as a voter before you can cast your vote. It means that the device is loaded with information or data about you. That is why when you put your thumbprint on it and on that particular register, your name or your details are not there, it will reject and will not give you the opportunity to register.
Under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances. So when these devices get missing, it means that there is possibility, for anyone with access to this device to manipulate. In a sense that, for example, if you have a bad guy, and let's assume that these devices that are missing may find space with some other political parties or with one particular political party, they may be interested in either increasing votes or ballot stuffing. Now, when you do ballot stuffing, one of the ways that it can be checked before those ballots can be declared null and void or invalid is that you use the machine to provide a verification. So at the end of the day, when polls are conducted, we will check how many people have been verified by the device manually, and then how many people have been verified by the device. So when sometimes maybe your hand is oily and all of that, you may have your name or your details in the register, but the device may not authenticate you. True. So that when all the parties are satisfied that indeed it may just be a technical error resulting in the machine's inability to authenticate you, they will allow for what? Manual verification. So at the end of polls, they will add the number of people verified by the device to the number of people verified manually. And then the total number of votes cast is expected to tally with the total number of people verified, because no verification, no vote. So when you have people with access to these documents and they want to tamper with the integrity of the process, it is so easy that these people may have access to the machines and verify or tamper with the security features of the machine, and anyone at all. So Moro can enter Ketu North, go to a Hihome.
But that is if the machines have ended up with someone.
So that's the premise I laid.
Yeah, exactly.
That is if the machines have ended up with someone. But looking at these machines, the question is, what really will any thief do with these machines, if not for electoral purposes?
So you're saying that...
I mean, what else can this machine do?
You're saying a more realistic incentive would be that the person wants to use it to either suppress votes or to increase votes.
And where were the machines kept? How did they get missing? That the Electoral Commission of Ghana, you have devices as sensitive, as
Where are
delicate
these,
as this.
where are these machines normally kept? Do you have any idea?
It's supposed to be in the custody of the Electoral Commission.
At a warehouse somewhere.
So they decide where to keep it
Okay.
for safekeeping.
Right.
We political parties can't decide for them.
Okay.
Maybe for security reasons,
Okay.
they may not, or they are not even under obligations to tell us where they
the
are being
machines
kept.
are. Okay.
But at the end of the day, if all these machines are being kept or they are in your custody and you can't account for them, we have every reason
To be concerned.
and
to be
raise
suspicious.
questions, to be suspicious.
Okay.
Especially when the Electoral Commission, as we have it today,
Yeah.
in its composition, it's looking like it has become a wing of the ruling NPP government.
Right.
Why am I saying so, Moro? People appointed to the Electoral Commission are supposed to be non-partisan.
Right.
I didn't use the word neutral.
Right.
I said non-partisan.
Non-partisan.
And I will explain.
Okay.
Neutral, I have always maintained that it's always difficult to maintain neutrality.
Right.
Look, when we come to Ghana, for example, when we come to Ghana, Moro, in terms of football, I support Accra House of Folk.
Okay. I will beg you, and I'll
Yes.
beg you to do this. You know, the Electoral Commission is still holding that news press conference.
Sure.
That's the news conference, and it's an extremely important one. My understanding is that Echo is there. Echo is a reporter on the ground, and Echo will tell us what the Electoral Commission has been saying. Echo, please come in. What can you tell us has been the explanation that the Electoral Commission has been given as far as these missing devices are concerned? Now, we're told, for instance, the Electoral Commission says no BVD machines are missing.
Yeah, exactly, Moro, and that is what the Electoral Commission just said in their press conference. So the deputy EC chair in charge of operations, that is Samuel Tete, clearly indicated that no, the allegations made by the minority is untrue, but rather there are some 5 laptops that were missing. There are some 5 laptops that were missing during their normal routine maintenance exercise that the commission normally undertakes. That was where they discovered that they cannot account for 5 laptops. So they reported the issue to the National Security Service, the National Securities, and the National Security has taken up the issue. At the moment, they were unable to tell us the number of suspects that have been apprehended, but they told us some suspects have been apprehended. And also, they also give us a firm assurance that the stolen laptops do not have any bearing on the integrity of the elections. On the integrity of the upcoming elections, because the BVDs and the BVR kits do not work in isolation. So before they can work, they have to combine the two and also activate it before it can really work. They can't work in isolation. And as part of the explanation, they also gave, in order to give the Ghanaian populace the confidence and trust that the upcoming election is going to be free and fair, they said that there are no vital information on the missing. There are no vital information on the missing laptops. That is the 5 laptops. So a question was posed to the deputy EC chair in charge of operations, Samuel Tete, that were there a meeting, because per the minority press conference, they clearly indicated, that is, the minority clearly indicated that they had a meeting with the EC, and that was, in the meeting, that was where they uncovered that some 7 BVDs were missing, but Mr. Tete clearly refuted that, and according to him, they only mentioned to the majority, the leadership of parliament, during the meeting, that it was just 5 laptops, but not the BVD machines.
So basically, the Electoral Commission is discrediting what the minority has said, which is 7 BVD machines have gone missing, and the Electoral Commission must come clean on that. They're saying what the minority is telling us is not true.
Exactly. That is what the Electoral Commission just indicated at the press conference.
All right, but a few questions that I'd like to pose. Now, first of all, when did these machines get missing? Did they have any? Did they have any intentions of telling the minority? I mean, the political parties, for instance. I mean, they have a platform called IPAC, were they going to tell IPAC what it was, or they didn't think that these machines have any bearing whatsoever on the elections, and so there was no point actually even going out to tell the political parties about these machines. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, so a question of that nature was posed to them, and according to them, they are yet to engage the political parties on the situation, but they'll be doing that in the next IPAC meeting. But at the moment, they've not had any engagement with the political parties on the said development.
All right.
But on the question on the time that they uncovered that the laptops were missing, according to them, immediately they uncovered that they told the national security about the issue, and the national security picked it up immediately.
Okay. All right, Enoch, thank you very much. That was a great report.
And Moro, one very important issue that, hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Moro?
Yes, please
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
one very important issue that came up in the press conference is that the EC refuted some allegations that some $150 million was spent on the 2020 general elections on device alone. But according to the EC, that is untrue, and the entire amount spent on the 2020 election was $59 million, and the 150 million that was alleged that was spent on only devices were untrue.
All right, Enoch, thank you for that report. So Enoch has been covering the news conference which has been put together by the Electoral Commission to basically respond to the claims or the assertions or the allegations by the minority that some 7 BVD machines have just gone missing. And Adam McMahon was just explaining to us what the BVD machines are. They verify you before you vote, so that once there's no verification, there's no vote. But the EC is telling us that no BVD machines are missing, just 5 laptops which are missing. And when they got missing, they informed the national security to look into it. And but then the question that arose was, why didn't they tell the political parties even before telling, or at the same time to the national security? They said, well, they have intentions of doing that. Anyway, Enoch, thank you very much. I've got Adam Magbana, who's here, who's a former national organizer of former national youth organizer of the NDC, but is now the parliamentary candidate of the party for the Keto North constituency. Of course, he's a key actor as far as elections are concerned. And so he's here for many reasons. Now, we'll also be joined shortly by Haruna Mohammed, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, who would also have something to say as far as a lot of these are concerned. But remember that when this matter came up, Dr. Omane Buama came out to also make some other allegations, and I'm sure Adam will tell us more about that. Now, Adam, first of all, can we get a response, your response or reaction to what the Electoral Commission has been saying? They're saying just five laptops. Has nothing to do with BVD machines. The reason they haven't told you, the political parties, is because they really didn't see, it really doesn't have any bearing on the elections. However, on hindsight, they've realized that perhaps they have to tell you when IPAC convenes.
In about 2 weeks ago, right, there was a meeting, there was an IPAC meeting. The political parties were present. So why didn't the Electoral Commission brief all the parties and the stakeholders involved at IPAC
About this
development?
Okay.
Again, the EC is refuting claims that they spent $150 million
Yes.
Procuring machines and all of that. I have been following the likes of Franklin Kujo and co, who followed that procurement process, and they have raised several questions about it and all that. But is it moral? In other democracies, where systems work, where integrity is considered key to leadership, where people consider accountability as a key component of governance, you don't even have to wait for people to make allegations or raise some of these issues before you come out to respond. Every process of the Electoral Commission, they ought to be briefing Parliament and brief the good people of Ghana on expenditure, and all of these other issues. And so there is no excuse that the EC is now coming out claiming that they are refuting claims or allegations made against them.
Okay.
But it's simply because they don't consider us as important stakeholders to be giving us the information on time.
Right.
But you see, back to the issue of the BVD machines. I mentioned the purpose of the BVD with regards to elections. But even with registration, when you are registering and the machine is unable to pick your biodata and then pick your biometric, it becomes difficult so you can't complete the process.
Right.
So anyone in possession of that device can manipulate and even delete names from the register. And that's what it can happen.
Really?
Yes, it can happen.
Right.
It can be used because when you come to my constituency, we were given 4 devices during the limited registration. 2 were machines on standby, 2 deployed for the purpose of registration. And so when you are registering and one of the machines may be not functioning properly, it is policed until it is taken to the region for it to be repaired, because through that device, people's names can be deleted from the register. That is where, let me say, the actual registration takes place.
Right.
Because now the focus is not so much on the paper where you fill the form and all of that. After you fill the form, if those who went through the process can recall, you enter a room where you sit before an elections official or electoral commission officer who will be taking the details on the paper that you earlier filled outside or as part of the process.
Okay.
So this device is very important, and we need to have it policed. Now, why is the Electoral Commission telling us that only laptops were missing when we are telling them that we have information and we are confident that
Do
indeed
you trust
we
your
know?
source?
I certainly trust the minority leader more than I trust the Electoral Commissioner, because this is an Electoral Commission that on many occasions they have engaged in acts and said things that does not depict what should be coming from the nation's Electoral Commission. And I was making a point before you. I said, look, in the composition of the Electoral Commission, the law provides that we must not appoint people who are aligned to any of the political parties.
Yeah.
But today, when you go to the Electoral Commission, the new Electoral Commissioner, the 7th gentleman that was appointed recently from UNE, one Dr. Banahini, if I get the name right.
Banahini, yes.
This was a man who was a member of the NPP communications team. We have pictures, videos of him on NPP rally platforms.
Yeah.
And yet the presidency appointed him to be a member of the Electoral Commission. So, Moro, put yourself in my shoes. If such a person is given the mandate to organize elections and take decisions, who do you think he will take decisions to favor?
Okay, but you have just said that you don't necessarily expect people who are apolitical. You're just expecting neutrality.
Yes.
So doesn't that logic then
cover
this guy?
Very good. So I'm giving you there are many people like you, the journalist.
Yes. Okay.
It's difficult
before
where you belong.
Let me beg you. I have to take this break. I'll take a short break. When I come back, we're talking about the Electoral Commission. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back. Good afternoon, Ghana is looking at a very, very trending and a very, very interesting topic about the alleged missing 7 biometric machines from the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission has been holding a news conference, and they have been reacting to this report. They've said it is not true, and that actually what it is that 5 laptops have gone missing. But the reason why they didn't tell the political parties about this missing laptops is because they really didn't think that it was necessary, because it has no bearing whatsoever on the elections. But of course, on hindsight, they intend to tell the Electoral Commission, the political parties during IPAC meetings about this missing 5 laptops. But I've raised a question that yesterday when the minority leader met the press and disclosed this matter to the press, what he said was that he sent or he dispatched his chief whips to meet the Electoral Commission. They had actually confirmed that the BVD machines are missing. So something doesn't add up. But there's another matter which we'll be looking at. But before we do that, we'll look at the other matter. Let me also say that we're actually waiting to be joined on the line by Mr. Haruna Mohammed, who's the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. to respond to some other claims that the NDC has been making. But in the meantime, those of you who want to express some thoughts on what we're talking about, it's 0244 262 314. 0244 262 314. That's the WhatsApp line, 0244 262 314. You can either send a text or a WhatsApp message, 0244 262 314. Yes, I'll need you to land on that because there's some other issues that have been raised by Dr. Maniboma, who's the director of elections of your party, about recruitment of persons recruitment of persons for returning officers of the Electoral Commission. So we'll look at that as well. So I want you to land on this. We can get on with that.
With the issue of the neutrality and independence. So the Electoral Commission is expected to be independent.
Right.
And so in
you
appointing
talked about
people
Dr.
to the
Peter
commission,
Apiahene.
Dr. Peter Apiahene, I got his name wrong.
Yeah.
Dr. Peter Apiahene was a member of the NPP communications team.
Okay.
We have videos of him in studios of radio stations making argument for the NPP as a political party. Now you appoint the gentleman to the Electoral Commission and you expect him to be all of a sudden independent?
Why can't he?
Because his interest is with the political party.
Oh, he says he's taking his MPP clothes. He's
How-
thrown it
how-
away.
you don't-
He's
you
no
don't do
more
that.
MPP.
There is a reason why when judges are sitting on cases that relates to people they have any affiliation with, they are expected to
recuse themselves.
from sitting on the case.
There's wisdom
Because
in that.
they can also say that when they are wearing their gown or whatever, they have taken off their family cloth or whatever, but they are expected to recuse themselves.
Okay.
There's a reason why when two teams are playing, let's say Ghana and Senegal played yesterday, there was no way a Ghanaian referee could have been used as the center referee. Why? Because he certainly will be compromised because of his affiliations to Ghana.
Okay.
And so we needed to appoint. Are we saying that in this whole country, President Akufo-Addo could not find an individual who has the qualifications to be part of the Electoral Commission, who is neutral or independent, or who is not affiliated to the NPP as a political party? It is simply because President Akufo-Addo has an agenda. His agenda is to extend his tenure of office by ensuring that they rig the elections for Dr. Biometric to control, but that will not happen.
Okay.
We have to be vigilant. Now, on the issue of the recruitment.
Yes, because this is what Dr. Maniboma has written.
Yes,
you've seen it?
yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
And it's something that is true. A couple of months ago, the Electoral Commission advertised vacancies for Ghanaians willing and ready to work with the commission as returning officers and all of that to apply. But we have information that even before the process was over, the NPP as a political party submitted names of people they wish to have as the returning officers in the various districts. And so people who are qualified, so when you come to Ketu North, for example, many people applied. Some of these people have been working with the Electoral Commission for 16 years, 18 years, 12 years. All of a sudden, their names, they were not shortlisted. But these are people that have done this work continuously. And there have never been issues about their integrity or their performance. But their names, they were not shortlisted. Now, people that have been shortlisted are people that have affiliations with the NPP.
But you know this for a fact.
We know, you see, we are with the people. We are there. So when you come to my constituency, I don't think that you will know my constituency. I mean, without any disrespect, you will know the people in my constituency better than I do.
True.
Some of these people are teachers in the constituency. We know them. Some of them, with a simple check on their social media pages, you will see the kind of comments that they've made in the past, the kind of things that they have said in the past, and where they belong politically. So we are telling the Electoral Commission, look, I have told my elections committee and I have informed the branch executives and the members of my party in my constituency that, look, the 2024 elections is about protecting the dignity of this country. And so it is important for us to ensure that we do everything possible to ensure that there is fairness at the polls. And that is why the EC and the NPP can be engaging in some of these tricks and all of that. But they should be rest assured that we'll be vigilant. They should be rest assured that we will also put in place counter strategies to make rigging unattractive for them, and we will not allow them to go.
Now, I'm told before you go ahead, I'm told the Omani Boama's write-up is ready. I'm just going to read what Omani Boama said so that somebody doesn't think that somebody's creating something from nothing. So Josiah, if he's ready, if you can put it up so we can read what Omani Boama said. He says the Electoral Commission's voters registration kits that were stolen and ongoing recruitment of returning officers. Thanks to our unimpeachable and patriotic sources, the NDC MPs in Parliament confirmed yesterday that some voters' registration kits of the Electoral Commission were stolen. Prior to yesterday's parliamentary engagement with the EC, this news was non-existent to the Ghanaian voter and to the media. We thank our patriotic, unimpeachable sources for their continuous support in ensuring we work together we work towards a free, fair, and transparent elections while saving the EC itself from MPP's illicit infiltration and influence. And then it continues. He said, we also have information which may be denied by the EC that the MPP submitted a list of MPP's preferred returning officers and deputy returning officers that the EC must recruit. We are therefore informed that the MPP's list of preferred names constitutes the bulk of the applicants the EC shortlisted for the interviews, which will start this week. Whereas not everyone at the EC and its top echelons are aware and are involved, complicit in this sabotage of Ghana's democracy to favor the MPP. We urge some members of the Commission and the EC staff to resist this dubious temptation, which at the appropriate time, and in quotes, he says soon, will embarrass the once reputable Electoral Commission of Ghana and some of its members. So that's Dr. Omani Boama, and it says on the back of the confirmed stolen voter registration kit ahead of the May 7 voters registration exercise, let me add that a thorough investigation is needed immediately to determine the extent of compromise of the EC's IT system and department. We shall continue to prepare, even as we watch the EC and all actors with eagle eyes. Now, we had actually billed to speak to the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. We're still working the lines to get through to him. When we spoke to him this morning, he said it was actually in Naleregu for some party operations, and that at 2 o'clock he would position himself so that he can speak to us. We're trying to work the lines to at least get him to comment on, especially the part about the recruitment of returning officers, both returning and deputy returning officers, most of whom allegedly are MPP sympathizers or NPP card-bearing members, as Edem Agbana has actually also repeated. That part is where we need him to comment on. So Haruna, if you're watching us or if there's anybody close to him, please tell him that we're trying to reach him because we need his reaction and response to some of the things that have happened here. Anyway, so please go ahead, Edem.
Yes, so all these issues are issues that worries us as a political party. That look, if you claim that you have done well in 8 years, if you are claiming that you've done better than the Mahama administration, then allow the processes to be free and fair,
Right.
and let the people of Ghana decide. Let them pass a verdict on the performance of this government.
Right.
But this attempt by the NPP to use the Electoral Commission as an extension of their operational and organizational wings to temper with the integrity of the elections, we will not give them that space.
Okay.
And we have said, and I keep saying that all parliamentary candidates of the NDC must be very, very, very vigilant. You must be passionate about this work that we are doing because the 276 of us,
Okay.
with our constituency and regional national executives, we have become the ambassadors to save this country. In the sense that Ghanaians are asking for the return of President Mahama. Ghanaians are looking for hope. The youth have lost hope. As we speak today, there is an Afrobarometer report that suggests that 8 out of 10 Ghanaian youth believe that they can only make it in life when they travel outside this country. And so there is a need for us to restore hope to the ordinary Ghanaian. And so let us ensure that we protect this process. Take the registration process, the limited registration process seriously. We need to, as a people, just stop complaining and fight on the grounds. Let us ensure that the right things are done. In the last limited registration, the very first meeting of the Electoral Commission in my district before the commencement of the process, I didn't send a rep. I was there myself. I ensured that the day they started the limited registration, at about 5:30 a.m., I was there on the grounds with my men because we needed to ensure that the right things are done. We have to take the election seriously.
Okay.
If you're sitting somewhere and you are expecting that this electoral commission, you have any confidence in them, I'm sorry they may disappoint you. Fight for the right things to be done. And so we have to be very vigilant because these things that Dr. Omani Boama is talking about, that is the reality on the ground. The people have submitted a list. As we speak now, they have lots of MPP people being pushed into the Electoral Commission as returning officers
Just give me a second. Just give me a
Yes.
second. Let me talk to Haruna briefly.
Yes.
And unfortunately, he's joined us at not at a very good time. But Haruna Mohammed, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Afternoon Ghana.
Good afternoon.
Yes, just a quick one. The director of elections of the NDC has made some allegations, and the allegations are that you have been able to influence and infiltrate your party members into the Electoral Commission by making sure that the Electoral Commission recruits them as returning officers and deputy returning officers. What's your response to this allegation?
Thank you very much. Let me put this on record. The National Party of the New Patriotic Party has not submitted any list to the Electoral Commission of Ghana. There is due process to the recruitment of returning officers and deputy returning officers to the EC. It has nothing to do with the New Patriotic Party. We absolutely doesn't know anything about what the Director of Elections of the NDC is saying. I'm not surprised that he would have to say what he's saying. Virtually, he was a communication minister. He could not communicate very well. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So probably he's carried that to the election directorate of the NDC. So the MPP, for us, we are not better at all. This is a sign of defeat for them. But we will not do so and submit any list. We have not even had any official communication with the EC with regards to any recruitment. I'm sorry, this is not a bit what we prepared.
Now, Haruna, just briefly, they say they have evidence. Would you welcome that evidence? And what would you do with that evidence if they submit it to you?
We are not a court. We are a political party. If the NDC has evidence, they should go to court. We are not a court. So if they have the evidence, they should go to court. And if they get anything that they think that something has to be done, they should go to police and report. What we know is that the regulation that guides elections in this country, which is CI 127, is well vested in the New Patriotic Party. We know all the processes. Anything that we want to investigate, anything that we want to protest, we petition to the Electoral Commission of Ghana, and that's what they have to do.
But wouldn't you be interested in helping them get to the bottom of this, or it's not necessary?
Oh, for me, I find it very surprising that the NDC will engage the reportage in terms of misinforming the Ghanaian public. Look, they cannot win the elections with public sympathy. They should rather go and focus on campaigning and market the program that they cannot market. So for us, we are very focused. Dr. Bawumia will be the president after His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and that is what we want to do. And the good people of Ghana will look at our good works and then vote for us. We are not much perturbed about what the NDC does. We are a party that is focused. We have done that through 1992 to date. We have not been disturbed by any pattern of diversion or any violence or any other thing. We are focused, and that is what the New Patriotic Party is going to do.
In just 1 minute, Haruna, if you can do this for me, any quick thoughts on the claims by the minority stroke NDC that BVD kits are missing 7 of them? The Electoral Commission has come out to hold a news conference and say no BVD is missing and that there are only 5 laptops. You have any brief thoughts on this?
For this matter, if something is missing, you report to the police. The Electoral Commission tells you that nothing is missing. So why do they want to cry more than they believe? The Electoral Commission says nothing is missing. They say something is missing. So if they can find it, now give it to them. It will be better. And if they cannot find it, they should report it to police. Look, they should stop that attitude of going to Parliament and making statement upon statement that cannot be verified. This country and this democracy doesn't need it at all. It's needless in this democracy. That is what the NDC want them to know. Look, God has been very faithful to Ghana, and today we are having same number in Parliament doesn't mean that they should introduce neutrality into this particular system. We are very focused, and they should desist from that. This is the only country we have, and they should not put out misinformation there to be able to destabilize this country. That is not what we are all looking at. We are very focused, and we are going to stay true to that.
All right, Haruna Mohammed, thank you very much for your time. Harold Mohammed is the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. He's refuting all the claims and allegations by the NDC. I want to thank you very much for making time. Now, he says it's just one of those propaganda tools that you employ during elections, and that, you know, you've basically, you're not telling the truth. I mean, in just 1 minute, what's your response to what Aruna said?
Well, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything different, because the drum that has been beaten, it's one that is in line with his kind of dance, and so you expect him to praise the drummer. Okay, the drum that is being beaten is in line.
Okay.
With his dance, and so you expect him to praise the drummer, because at the end of the day, he wants to go out and be looking good as a good dancer.
All right.
But if the drum beats was offbeat or different from his line, he would have been complaining. Look, we are focused on the 2024 elections.
Okay.
The NPP is not our focus. Our focus is the good people of Ghana.
Okay.
And that is why President Mahama and the NDC, we are going to the people with our message.
All right.
But we will not, and I will say this again with emphasis, that we will not, as a political party, allow the Electoral Commission to get away with many of the things that they got away with in 2020. We will make sure we protect the integrity of the process. Okay. And again, I'm charging everyone, especially the parliamentary candidates and the NDC executives and members, that yes, our leaders can raise the issues, but beyond the complaints, we must ensure that the right things are done, and we will do that.
Just two quick ones. Good afternoon, Mr. Moro. The EC should know that we have only one country called Ghana. Please, kudos to our incoming MP, George Kobla Edem Agbana, has come from Bozato Nima. And this one says the EC over the past year has shown it is aligned with the MPP. They're lying about the ABVDs. The truth will come out. That's coming from Nina. And then finally, this one here from Mame says that the NDC should be careful with the lies. We're tired. It's Mami from Abelinkpe. Anyway, my name is Audu Moro. Thanks for watching. This has been another edition of Good Afternoon Ghana. Same time Monday, we're back. But Friday, watch a repetition of it.